Hey little people, welcome back to another episode of Math with Morris. I'm your host, Miss Morris. Let's do some math. Today, we're talking about adding and subtracting decimals. Congrats, you made it, you've arrived. Let's start off, and this should be kind of just a little review. We are going to add 1 and 1.459 plus 23.7, or 1 and 459 thousandths plus 23 and 7 tenths, however you want to say it. We're going to start off. We know that our decimal is the anchor for everything. So when we set this up and we use our standard algorithm to add or subtract, we know that the decimal is the anchor. If you know that, then you're already halfway there. So let me grab a marker. And we are going to line these bad boys up according to the decimal. The decimal rules all. All right. So we have 1.459, 459 thousandths. That is in the thousandths place. If you look at this place value chart on top of my head, which I need to put my decimal on, by the way, you see that you got your ones and then tenths, hundredths, and thousandths. It's missing the decimal, but you get the point. I'll add that decimal before we get back in person. And we have 23.7, or 23 and 7 tenths. So it says add. I see the addition symbol. I'm going to go ahead and do that. So let's get started. I'm looking first in my thousandths place, and I see I have 9 thousandths plus nothing here. So when there's nothing here, 7 tenths is the same thing as 70 hundredths, which is the same thing as 700 thousandths. So I can just add my zeros to take care of that place value. I'm not adding my zeros, I'm placing zeros there. There were already zeros there, they just weren't visible. So 9 thousandths plus 0 thousandths equals 9 thousandths. 5 hundredths plus 0 hundredths equals 5 hundredths. 4 tenths plus 7 tenths gives me 11 tenths. So I'm going to have a whole to carry over to the next place. 3 plus 1 gives me 5. And 20 plus 0 is 20. So my solution would be 25.159, or 25 and 159 thousandths. Now let's take a look at our subtraction. Same exact thing. This should be a little review for you guys. The decimal is the anchor. The decimal is the boss. The decimal determines everything else. So now I'm going to solve this problem. I'm setting it up. I know it's going to be subtraction. And I have 21 and 9 tenths minus 1 and 605 thousandths. Before I can subtract, I need to use my knowledge of place value to say that there are 2 imaginary zeros here. And now I can get started. I'm literally on the floor right now. So go ahead and try to solve this one on your own. See what you get. All right. So now that you've solved it on your own, you know we're starting over here in the smallest place value, which is our thousandths place. 0 thousandths minus 5 thousandths. I can't do it. If I have 0, I can't regroup. I can't borrow. I'm giving you the answer. I can't subtract, so I need to regroup. Can I borrow from 0? No. Can I borrow from this 9? Yes. So people work this out different ways. Some people cross out 90 and put 89. Some people cross out 9 and put 8 and make this a 10 and make the 10 a 9 and the 0 a 10. Up to you guys, doesn't matter. I'm kind of a 90 gal, so I'm gonna cross out 90, turns into 89, and I regroup. So now I'm looking at 10 thousandths minus 5 thousandths gives me 5 thousandths. 9 hundredths minus 0 hundredths equals 9 hundredths. 8 tenths minus 6 tenths equals 2 tenths. 1 minus 1 equals 0, and 20 minus 0 equals 20. So our solution would be 20.295, or 20 and 295 thousandths. You didn't think it was just going to say that easy, did you? Miss Morris is decorating a bulletin board. The rectangular board has a width of 50.9 centimeters and a length of 618.4 centimeters. She covers the perimeter with a border. How much border does she use? So how do we find perimeter? Let's take a little rewind, step back to 3rd grade. How do we find perimeter? So we know that the perimeter, there's some key words here. We've got a rectangular board, so maybe I draw a picture of a rectangle. We know that the perimeter is everything that goes around. So that means perimeter equals length plus width plus width. So go ahead and do it with me if you want. If you're home by yourself, this is the way I taught perimeter in area. Perimeter equals length plus width plus width. Let's see, it's W's and L's. So I'm going to add together all of those sides. And I get 50.9, 50.9, 618.4, 618.4. Go ahead and solve that one on your own. Let's see what you get. All right, I know what my width is, my length is, so let's see what you guys got. So when I add together 618.4, 618.4, 50.9, 50.9. I know that 9 plus 9 is 18, 4 plus 4 is 8. When I add those two together, 8 plus 8 is 16, 26. Put my 6, again, notice how my decimals are all lined up. That's the anchor of everything. Regroup that 2, those 2 holes. 8 plus 2 gives us 10, and plus 8 gives us 18. Regroup that 10. 50 plus 50 is 100, 110, 120, 130. Regroup that 100. 600 plus 600 plus 100, 6 plus 6 is 12, 13, regroup that 1,000, 1, 2, 3, comma. So we get 1,338.6, what's our unit? Centimeters, is how much border that we, or should I say me, used on that board. So now that you've made it to this point, go ahead and solve we're on page 72. You're looking at numbers 41, 42, 44, and 51. All right, so at this point, you should have solved all of those 4 problems. On page 72, number 41, that is correct. On page 72, number 42, the subtraction is not correct. If you look in the hundredths place, you see that they did not place their 0 there, and that is probably what caused them to get that one wrong, incorrect. For number 44, the solution you should have gotten was 19.58, 19.58, or 19 and 58 hundredths. And finally, for number 51, our solution is 16.5916. Good to go.